The big string inverter M250 high voltage from Delta Electronics proceeds up to 1500 volts DC in the field. Really interesting is the new EL function, which helps to detect defect modules in the field. Let's take a look. We are standing here at the booth from Delta Electronics at the Intersolar Restart 2021 and talking to Andreas Hoischen. He's the director of the business unit Photovoltaic Inverter in Europe. Hello, Mr. Hoischen. What innovations does Delta show here at the Restart?
Yeah. Hello, thank you very much. I'm very happy to show you our new inverter line, and the highlight for this year is our M250 high voltage HV inverter. As said, we have 1500 volt input here and we have 800 volt output here. We have a special connection box which make it easy for the installer to bring the cable over in here. It's detachable, so either big or small cables can really be included and attached very easily. We have on this side here the DC part of the inverter, which has up to 30 strings to be connected. And the specialty of this inverter is that we can do a lot of overpowering. We have 12 MPPs, so you are very flexible for your PV field, but you can put up to 30 strings on the 12 MPPs. And we have a mechanical DC switch in order to cut off the strings, so you're always safe for all the certification you need in order to get your PV field then also connected on the grid.
That's very interesting. So what distinguishes the design of this big inverter?
Yeah, this big inverter, in fact, if you see, this is a 1/4 megawatt. In the past you had very big cabinets, and now it's such condensed that we have the highest power density for PV inverters in the world. And this 250 kilowatts can be lifted, in fact, by 3 or 4 people. The whole inverter is just slightly over 100 kilograms, so it is in fact possible to lift it with 3 or 4 people and put it then on the rig under the PV panels.
In big solar plants, it's always about cost savings. There's a lot of cost pressure on the market. What does the device do about cost saving and yield gains?
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, the most important thing is the very high efficiency. We are over 98% here, so it's very high efficiency. And on the other side, there you need to have a lot of features in order to support, in fact, to get the capex down. We have such features as, for example, reverse polarity detection. We have also the detection of the lightning, and we have SPD's protection on the AC and on the DC side in order to protect your whole inverter. That makes it a very easy machine to operate, and you don't need any extra additional functions in order to operate it. So it's really plug and play in order to run the machine in the field without any additional features.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned a lot of interesting features. One feature is really interesting too, I think, the EL feature function, which is for electroluminescence. How does this work?
Yeah, okay, the electroluminescence is in fact quite easy feature. What we do is we take the PV panel and we put current backwards in. So normally the PV panel is there to make energy out of light, and here we put energy back in the PV panel, and then it emits electroluminescence light, and that light can then be detected by a drone if you fly over, and you can see, for example, deterioration of your PV panels like micro cracks, PIDs, and so on. You can see it quite clearly on the picture. And in the past, you had to disconnect your panels, your strings, and put the power supply on. Now you can run it, I would say, almost from your operating room. You can take the drone and operate it, and you can put the features on this remotely, and you don't need to do any additional installation work to run it.
Well, thank you. This is very interesting, but Delta has more. You're introducing a new series of inverters, string inverter, the Gen 2 generation. What's new with these devices? What have you improved?
Yeah, let's go to our Gen 2 generation. We call it Gen 2, like generation 2. Means all our inverters have now multi-MPPT. We are showing here the M70, the 70 kilowatt. It's on the market since 1 year and is very well accepted by the market. And the 70 can, in fact, we have 6 MPPTs, and on the 6 MPPTs we can put up to 18 strings. So also here the philosophy is to overpower it if it's necessary. So you can run this product either in a good north-west, north-south, or east-west configuration easily and get most of the power out of this product. It can be hanged on the wall or on the stand, but you can also put it here on the ground, especially a big rooftop. It is very easy, and with the input here on the side, on the DC and on the AC side, the cables can lay on the roof and come into the inverter. So it's very versatile, both for rooftop or for ground mount installation.
Mm-hmm. Well, for installers, the work safety is a really important issue. What features do you have for work safety?
The features we are providing is, first of all, a real DC switch, which you have over here. So you can cut off the machine, and it works for all certification if it's a real mechanical switch. And then we have here a door where you can open, in fact, here the inverter and do all the installations in a safe environment. The inner side is all protected with isolation, so you cannot touch high voltage part, and the installer is really safe from that side of view. On the top, just to mention also, is we do not use electrolytical capacitors, which at the end can always, there's a danger of explosion. We are using here foil capacitors, and foil capacitors are much safer from the long-term point of view.
Really interesting. And Delta also has some smaller inverters. Will we have a look at this one too?
Exactly, yes. We are having also, we provide some smaller inverters, which I would like to show you here. We have inverters from 30 kilowatt down to 2.5 kilowatt. And the 30 kilowatt we are also showing here for the first time. It's a 30 kilowatt inverter, which is going up to 33 kilowatt. We have 3 inputs with 6 MPPTs. And as a new feature, we have here also a Wi-Fi option, so you can access this inverter not anymore with RS485 if you don't want, but that option is still available. But you can also use Wi-Fi in order to connect it to your local network.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hoischen. It's really interesting. Have a good trade fair, have good business, and If you want to have more information, please visit the website from Delta Electronics. Thank you.